We're here again at the South San Francisco Produce Terminal with my dad, Pete Carcione. What have you assembled for us today?
Well, Pete, these are just a few of the items that we brought from downstairs, which is our wholesale produce market here in South San Francisco. Now, some of the things that we wanted to bring was I wanted to bring up some avocados. They were all sold out.
Oh, well, the Super Bowl's coming.
That's right. So they disappeared by 3 o'clock this morning. They were all gone.
So people can look for avocados because were they going expensive?
They really dropped in price. They almost half the price.
Wow.
And just before the Super Bowl, so it's a pretty good idea to maybe pick some up.
Win-win.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll eat some avocados.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen these before. These are these the clementines or the Murcots again?
These many tangerines look this way. You know, they all look about the same. It looks like the cutie or the halo, which are clementines, and they're very good. The clementine is a nice tangerine, and they're seedless. But this one here is called the Murcot. And the Murcot is actually another name for the honey tangerine. But this family was able to develop a Murcot without seeds. So it's as sweet as the honey tangerine and just full of juice. And I've got to say, it is better than the clementine.
Oh, it is. I brought 30 of those home last week, and my kids rifled through them all.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're just absolutely amazing. You can see the juice that's in them.
They're so easy to peel. My kids we're challenging each other to peel it with one hand.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're... Talk about a shot of vitamin C.
They're excellent. They're heavy when you pick them up, and that means they're full of juice. This is called a Murcot, M-U-R-C-O-T-T.
How can people tell at the store?
You can't tell it by looking at it. That's why I'm bringing it up. The grocer will have to put Murcot. Yeah, they sell cuties or halos, which are nice, but if you happen to see the Murcot or ask the grocer if they have the Murcot, it's worth buying. And so that's why I wanted to mention how good it is.
Well, it's too bad we don't have the avocado here because you were saying it was the perfect fruit, but you said there's another perfect fruit here.
Yeah, the reason I brought the bell peppers and the avocados is because there's two perfect fruits. Because both of them have the key antioxidants, vitamins A, C, and E. But the red bell pepper is so special, just cut up in a salad. It's just sweet and delicious. It's something that I'd like to have in my salad all the time.
Sure, no, they're good.
Or when you bake them, they become even sweeter. They're wonderful. And the avocado, of course, is the item that we have as a piece of fruit. Avocado is a fruit.
They're both aces, A, C, and E. That's good to remember.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, E is sometimes tough to get a hold of.
It is. Most places that you find E is in fish and in nuts.
All right.
But both the avocado and the red bell pepper are loaded with both.
I love them both.
They're very, very good for you. Yeah.
And so what else do we have?
Well, I brought this asparagus. Look at how wonderful it is. It's got to be bright and alive looking, and look at the tightness of the tips.
Yep.
That's important. You don't want it to start to flower, or if there's any damage, then it starts to the damage will be right on the tip. But this asparagus is from Mexico, and I wanted to show it to you because it's not too long before we get our own asparagus from Stockton and Salinas, the local asparagus, but we can start off the season with the Mexican asparagus.
This is beautiful. The tips are nice and tight,
so
they're not blooming at all.
And the shaft it's hard. It squeaks.
Well,
if you have asparagus that's old, it won't squeak.
That's good to know.
Yeah,
and also, I don't like ones that are too thin.
Well,
these seem like perfect.
It's a matter of taste. I remember your grandfather when he put asparagus on television. That everybody wanted the jumbo in those days. But what they called spaghetti, the little tiny asparagus didn't sell at all. So he put it on television, and all of a sudden, he said, it's good, you just put it in your scrambled eggs. So it's a matter of taste. Asparagus is asparagus, no matter what the size, whether small. So then we also brought onions.
So you brought two different types of onions.
Yeah, well, you got to know your onions. Somebody said that a long time ago. So this is called a Mayan onion. Now, the Mayan and the Vidalia, the Maui and the Walla Walla onions, those are the sweet onions. What I want to show here is this here, Pete. You can smell it. You can smell that they're sweet.
Yeah. So what would you use the sweet onion on?
Okay, sweet onions are for salads or for your hamburgers. I really like to take slices of onions with a nice red tomato with olive oil, vinegar,
so sweet
salt,
onions
and
are if
pepper.
you can eat it raw.
Oh, if you eat a whole platter of tomatoes, these sweet onions, olive oil, vinegar, and salt and pepper, I'll eat the whole plate. They're wonderful.
So the sweet onion will get too sweet if you cook it?
Yes, that's a good point, Pete, because if you cook this like all onions, they become sweeter because they caramelize.
Okay.
And you don't want to put this to make your tomato sauce, because you'll have to throw that tomato sauce out.
Well, that's good to know.
It'd be just too sweet and give the wrong flavor. For cooking, this is the Spanish onion. And everybody knows the Spanish onion for cooking, because when you cook it, it caramelizes and becomes sweet, but just the right kind of sweet.
See, if I had cut these for a Super Bowl party and put them out and someone hadn't eaten them, I would think of throwing them into a soup or something, but that would be a disaster.
Yeah, these here you want to eat raw. Okay, I did want to mention, Pete, that this is called a Mayan right now, and we have the Vidalia. It's right on top of it. The Vidalia, the Walla Walla from Washington, the Maui. They're all come from the one source, and that was the Texas Granix. This Granix seed is the mother of all the sweet onions, planted in different areas.
So all sweet onions can trace themselves to a same origin in Texas?
To the granite onion in Texas. I thought that
is an interesting fact.
It's just grown in different areas, in different soil, but they're all sweet because of the mother plant.
Well, wait, there's one last thing we have here. Right. These little things.
Well, these little things, a lot of people don't know what they are, and these are called garbanzo beans. Now, everybody's eating garbanzo beans, or chickpeas.
Chickpeas.
People make hummus out of it because it's just loaded with protein. So, but I was talking to one of Mexican men downstairs, and he says what my family does is we steam it put salt in the water, and they steam it. It becomes soft, easy to peel, and they're just delicious. And he said sometimes we put a little hot sauce on top, but they're wonderful. Especially, I like a little salt.
Good protein.
Yeah, they're loaded with protein.
All right,
okay.
Well, that's all we've got for you today. Hey, thanks so much for watching, and we'll be back next week to see what you got
Okay.
next week.
Okay, great, Pete.